I think one of the biggest complaints we see with Bethesda creations or the Creation Club is the massive discrepancies in pricing. Some creations, which largely expand in universe and offer up to hours of content, are extremely affordable, while other creations, which don't do any more than introduce weapons or armor into the base game, can cost as much as a large coffee shop latte. That discrepancy is still alive and well in 2026, and some of the creations I'm recognized today totally fit that bill. And today, I'm taking a look at some of the newer and some older creations in our beloved Fallout 4 to see if Creation Club content is still worth it for the price, or if Bethesda has totally gone off the rails. Please enjoy, and let me know in the comments section below if there are any additional creations or mods you'd like to see me review. Enjoy! The first creation we're taking a look at today is Revenge of the Van Graffs by Bethesda Game Studios for free. Revenge of the Van Graffs is a free Fallout 4 verified creation that brings a chunk of Fallout New Vegas energy weapon flavor into the Commonwealth. It centers on the return of the Van Graffs, the ruthless energy weapon dealers from Freeside, and wraps that setup into a short quest line built around tracking down black armored mercenaries, following an SOS signal, and uncovering what happened to a pair of wastelanders caught in the middle. The whole thing feels like a compact New Vegas callback with a stronger focus on added energy weapons. The quest, Run to the Hills, becomes available at level 15. It starts when you pick up an SOS signal northwest of Fort Hagen, which points you toward a trail involving Keith, Matt, and a group of Van Graff mercenaries operating out of the Lexington parking garage. From there, the creation sends you through a small investigation across a few locations, following notes, looting keys, and piecing together how the Van Graffs track down people who have crossed them. The notes give the creation its main bit of story flavor. Keith and Matt are trying to flee after getting tangled up with the wrong people, while the Van Graffs' orders make it clear this is a retaliation job. The real job for this creation, however, is the gear. Revenge of the Van Graffs adds two iconic New Vegas weapons to Fallout 4, the Laser RCW and the Plasma Defender, along with a Electron Charge Pack ammo and conversion schematics. There is also a unique Plasma Offender variant tied to the quest rewards. On top of that, you can loot Van Graff armor from the Mercs, giving you that sleek black combat armor look associated with the family. Once installed, the creation also folds some of these weapons into vendors and enemy loot pools, so they're not just one-and-done collectibles. In short, Revenge of the Van Graffs is a relatively small but high-value creation, especially considering it's free, if you like Fallout New Vegas callbacks, especially energy weapons. It's more of a focused side quest that exists to reintroduce the Van Graffs, adds a bit of Commonwealth mystery, and hand you some very fun laser plasma toys by the end. The second creation we're taking a look at today is personally one of my favorite, Tales of the Beast Hunter by Bethesda Game Studios for free. Tales of the Beast Hunter is one of the larger free Bethesda-presented creations for Fallout 4, adding a fully voiced, story-driven questline inspired by the atmosphere, again, of Fallout New Vegas. Developed by Hobgoblin Studios, it follows the legend of an NCR ranger whose hunt for dangerous creatures brought him all the way to the Commonwealth. The adventure begins with the quest Home Away from Home. When you approach the Nahant's Sheriff's Department, you'll pick up emergency distress frequencies, leading you to the mystery surrounding Troy Morton, an NCR ranger who earned the nickname the Beast Hunter. Through a series of holotapes, notes, and environmental storytelling, you retrace his journey from the Mojave to Boston while uncovering the fate of both the hunter and his infamous prey. The climax pits you against Bessie, the Beast Hunter's trained pet Deathclaw, and then the Beast Hunter himself. Completing this short quest line rewards you with a few rewards, the first being the Ranger Beast Hunter outfit, inspired by the iconic NCR Veteran Ranger armor from Fallout New Vegas, with a matching helmet and multiple appearance variants, which you are able to interchange and upgrade. Judge, which is a powerful revolving shotgun revolver hybrid. It fires devastating close-range blasts while offering a unique Western aesthetic similar to the rest of the creation. Flashbang grenades, which are tactical explosives introduced specifically for and in this creation. And then the bar, which is a fully functioning player home styled after casinos and bars of the New Vegas Strip. And it involves all crafting stations, storage, a workshop, and plenty of Mojave-inspired decorations. In my opinion, Tale of the Beast Hunter is one of the higher quality free creations available from Fallout 4. It successfully blends Fallout New Vegas nostalgia with Fallout 4's gameplay by introducing a memorable protagonist, atmospheric locations, challenging encounters, and worthwhile rewards. For players who miss the NZR Ranger aesthetic, like myself, or want another lore-friendly adventure in the Commonwealth, it is an easy recommendation and feels very close to official DLC in presentation. Maybe not scope, because it's not a massive creation, but in execution, it seems like it belongs in the base game. The next few creations we're taking a look at are a little smaller in scope than the first two. The next one is the Varmint Rifle by Bethesda Game Studios for free. The Varmint Rifle is a Fallout 4 verified creation that is once again a love letter to Fallout New Vegas. Instead of just dropping the classic rifle in your inventory, however, it builds an entire little dungeon around it. Part puzzle crawl, part environmental storytelling, part weapon hunt. It was developed by Niher and presented by BGS, and it's one of the more distinct recent Fallout 4 creations because it leans hard into exploration rather than a normal quest marker driven mission. The setup is simple. Head west of Cambridge Palmer Labs, find a raider messing with a manhole cover, and drop into the underground sewer lab complex below. From there, the creation turns into a self-contained mini dungeon full of locked passages, scavenged clues, improvised puzzle solutions, and signs that other people have already gotten trapped down there before you. Once again, it isn't a formal quest by Bethesda standard, but there is a trail of notes, visual breadcrumbs, and environmental storytelling that guide you deeper into the facility and toward the rifle. The actual Varmint Rifle is the classic low-tech bolt-action rifle associated with early game New Vegas, reimagined for Fallout 4 with custom animations and its own little showcase moment when you find it. The creation also hides a unique mod for the rifle somewhere in the dungeon. Reward isn't just the base weapon, it's the whole scavenger hunt experience of fully uncovering its secrets. The gun nails the old-school Mojave vibe, lightweight, scrappy, and much more grounded than Fallout 4's chunkier late-game energy weapons. What makes this creation stand out is that it's not really a quest pack in the same mold as Tales of the Beast Hunter or Revenge of the Van Graffs. It's smaller, more focused, but also more hands-on. Bethesda's own description leans into fall down a manhole, solve puzzles, escape the ruins, and that's exactly the experience. A compact dungeon adventure with no hand-holding, where the appeal comes from poking through the environment, figuring out how to progress, and eventually walking out with a classic rifle as your prize. The fourth creation we're taking a look at today is definitely smaller in scope. There is a collection of creations revolving around Pip-Boy paint jobs by Bethesda Game Studios for approximately 50 credits each. So every Pip-Boy paint job creation is a pure cosmetic reskin for your Pip-Boy. They don't add quests or anything, they just let you swap the look of your wrist computer at an armor workbench. The differences are entirely visual, with most of them falling into one of four buckets: solid colors, camo skins, brand or faction themes, and novelty designs. I won't be able to cover all of them in the video because there is quite a few, but I'll highlight and showcase some of them to give you an idea of what they provide. The first being solid color paint jobs. There is blue, chrome, which is my personal favorite, red, white, black, and then in one bundle, green, orange, purple, yellow, pink, and tan. The next category being camouflage. They're more tactical, military flavored skins, and instead of the flat color, they give a patterned camouflage finish. There's the desert camo, the swamp camo, and the aquatic camo are also part of the camouflage paint job bundle, which paired matching Pip-Boy armor, weapon, and power armor skins together. The next being brand or corporate faction themed paint colors. There's the Nuka-Cola, the Nuka-Cola Quantum, the Overseers edition, which I also think looks really good and I'll play with on occasion. The Institute, a patriotic theme, Children of Atom, Red Rocket, Abraxo, Arcjet, Vim, Vim Refresh, and Riley's Rangers. And then there's also the novelty or style pack paint jobs. There's the Cruiser, Gray Tortoise, Adventure, Art Deco, Corvega, 5-Star Red, Haida, Hawaii, Neon Sunrise, Phenol Resin, Pop, and Tribal. In conclusion, this is a very small creation that I just wanted to showcase to show the depth of the Fallout 4 Creation Club, and I actually do personally like a lot of these. I have purchased quite a few of them, if not all of them, and I like to change up my Pip-Boy on occasion. I think it allows you to have a little more customizability and a little more personality in your game. And for the price, which isn't too bad, it's unfortunate that it costs credits at all. But for the price, if you buy one or two and like to switch it up, I think it can be worth it. And finally, the last creation we are taking a look at today is the Prototype Gauss Rifle by Bethesda Game Studios for 400 credits. The Prototype Gauss Rifle is a Fallout 4 creation that brings back the classic Fallout 3 New Vegas style Gauss rifle rather than Fallout 4's bulkier vanilla version. It's framed as a pre-war military prototype and is basically a nostalgia weapon pack built around a unique quest, a distinct firing mechanic, and an alternate take on one of Fallout's most iconic late-game rifles. The creation adds a short quest called the Prototype. Once it starts, you're told rumors are circulating that a gunner commander at Gunner's Plaza has gotten hold of an experimental Gauss rifle. The quest itself is very straightforward. Head to Gunner's Plaza, fight your way up, kill or loot the commander, and take the weapon for yourself. It's more of a weapon retrieval mission than a full narrative side quest, but what I like is that it gives the rifle a clean in-world introduction instead of just dropping it into your inventory. So obviously the rifle itself is the real reason to install the creation. Visually it resembles the Operation Anchorage / New Vegas era Gauss rifle with a sleeker chrome heavy design, exposed coils, and a more classic sci-fi sniper profile. Mechanically it doesn't behave like Fallout 4's standard Gauss rifle. Instead of holding the trigger to charge a shot, the prototype Gauss rifle uses a crank system similar to the laser musket. You can crank it up to 3 times before firing, and each crank boosts the damage of the next shot. This makes it feel more deliberate and old school, less like a semi-automatic railgun and more like a heavy, high-commitment sniper rifle you prep before every blast. It uses 2 MMEC and can be modded at a workbench and supports upgrades like alternate barrels, stock, optics, and even a suppressor. In practice, the prototype is more of a specialty Gauss rifle variant than a flat upgrade over the vanilla one. Its big appeal is the look and the firing style, if you like the older Fallout aesthetic or want a weapon that feels distinct from the base game rifle, it absolutely delivers. It's also available much earlier than a normal Gauss rifle in a typical playthrough, since you can grab it from the quest rather than having to wait for higher level enemy vendor spawns. The trade-off is that it's a bit clunkier in moment-to-moment use because of the crank mechanic, especially if you're constantly moving or using VATS. And my biggest concern overall with this creation is the price. It is the most expensive creation on my list today, however, it really doesn't deliver. For 400 credits, I'd really like to see more than just a weapon reskin on steroids. Unfortunately, that isn't the case with this one. Worth it solely for nostalgia? I'll let you decide. Like Skyrim Special Edition, Fallout 4 has an overabundance of Bethesda creations for your perusal, with new ones being added daily. Overall, a lot of the new additions are entertaining and help bring a unique perspective to the game. The ones today in particular really focus on Fallout New Vegas. The biggest issue I see personally with, like I mentioned at the beginning, the price tag of modern day Fallout creations. Compared to Skyrim, I think Fallout 4's inventory pricing makes a little less sense when you compare content, and thus results in having a harder consideration whether these game mods are worth your hard-earned shekels. So if you enjoyed the video, would like to see or hear more, please subscribe and stay tuned. And if there are any specific mods or creations you'd like to see me purchase and review, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see ya.